Ibra di testa, Tonali, gol! Sandro! Meritato! Sandro! Gol! Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the SempreMilan podcast. I'm your host, Ollie Fisher, joined once again by Anthony Tolgrud.
What's up, guys? Glad to be back.
You know, the Mexico game, the stadium is called 974. Stadium 974.
That's like
That's how creative they are.
Yeah. I noticed something about that. We're straight into the World Cup. Feels good to win your opening group stage
Doesn't
game.
say hello. Just
and still doesn't say hello. We've got Maddie here anyway, so it's the full house. The three amigos are here. World Cup fever has absolutely swept through the SempreMilan.
Except for AJ, who apparently has a screensaver on his TV instead of a game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I do.
That's okay. We'll let him off.
Sorry, I'm working right now.
Not interested in watching anything to do with Mexico.
Correct.
Mexico, Poland's on at the moment. We both played our first group stage games yesterday. England swept aside Iran 6-2. That was pretty entertaining. I'm a bit annoyed that we conceded 2 goals, to be honest, and I think we should have had a penalty. But that was okay. Iran just not very good. And USA was so good in that first half. I've got to give you props. I thought Wales would win. But yeah, that first half performance was good. Gives us something to think about before Friday's big game.
Just hyping up USA. I love it. No, I was actually really hurt by that one because I thought we were well and above the better team there. Cool. And of course, one of my all-time favorite players in Gareth Bale has to just break my heart after the really stupid challenge. It was a clear-cut penalty. Should have been a sending off, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So fair play to Wales, 1-1. But we go again on Friday.
I believe that we will win.
Well, you should win.
With that, no, I was just taking the piss. But I think with that game being a draw, a win for us on Friday means we're probably through. And then you and Wales are scrapping to beat Iran by the bigger margin to go for a goal difference.
I think Wales and Iran is going to be a tie. I don't think that Wales is that good, and Iran's going to want redemption.
I don't think Iran are as bad as they showed yesterday.
No,
I think that we got the goal and they didn't know. They banked on holding out for longer than that, and they didn't know what to do when they went a goal behind.
They literally looked like lost.
Yeah. I think we played well. Like Argentina showed how not to play against a lesser ranking nation because they were very slow, but we moved the ball quickly and we got.
Also, the amount of chances that Argentina got and did not finish. I don't know how you can expect to win the World Cup.
It was weird when Messi had that one fairly early on, and the keeper made the save. But you expect him to bury those because it's Messi, and then you start thinking, is it not their day? But fuck that! I mean, that was the performance of the tournament already. Saudi Arabia were absolutely incredible. AJ slept through it, which is quite funny.
It was 5 a.m. I had no intention of waking up for that. You're weird.
Maddie loves football, soccer.
Maddie's just the biggest Messi fanboy in the world. He's like,
hey, we can't have a go at him.
I hate Messi.
Yeah. Madison's got a weird affinity for Pele still.
Pele, yeah.
The GOAT.
Look, his last game in like 1988 or something. I can't remember. Probably earlier.
Madison's never seen him play. He's never even seen a highlight reel. He's just like, yeah, this is the guy.
He's his childhood hero. Pele.
Yeah, you know what I've done with my life. Yeah. And definitely know everything I've watched.
That's what I'm pretending, yeah. I'm rolling with it.
Yeah. So, World Cup's in full force. I suppose the Saudi Arabia result is so far the shock of the tournament. Everything apart from that has kind of gone to plan. VAR's a mess, which we all knew was going to happen. It is quite funny, the lack of consistency.
The added time has been insane this tournament.
Has there been a game that's had just a normal amount of added time? It seems to have been above 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think the Tunisia-Denmark had 4 minutes in one half of them, but I don't remember. But the rest were like 9 minutes, 14 minutes, 10 minutes.
There was the keeper collided with someone in our game, so that was a lengthy delay. You'll have missed it, but Maddie, you'll have seen it when the Saudi Arabia keeper kneed his own player in the face.
Oh, it was horrible.
It was grim. He got knocked out immediately, and his head hit the ground really hard. And they carried on playing, not realizing what had happened. And the keeper, when the ball was finally dead, was on the floor, devastated, thinking he's really, really hurt him. thankfully he came around again and gave a thumbs up on his way off, but his mouth was stuffed with tissues for the blood. Ugh. And he had things up his nose, so he won't be playing again. I wouldn't have thought.
The fact that the ref didn't stop it was just shocking. The refereeing this tournament has been really bad.
Yeah, it's been poor so far.
I thought Tunisia-Denmark had good refereeing.
I agree with the non-penalty call at the end there, to be honest. It's a ricochet, so I think it would have been really harsh to decide the game like that.
Like that's boom, boom. That's really harsh, but
but I suppose
Poland almost scored.
Yeah, want Poland to do well.
Is Lewin Disney starting? I'm assuming.
Lewandowski is. I don't know who Lewin Disney is. Maybe if you actually watched football, you'd know.
I don't know if you think I'm being serious or not, but I was making a joke about him.
Zielinski's playing against Lozano, so there's a bit of a. If those two were to go into a tackle together and break each other's legs, that's a bit far. Injure each other a little bit would be good.
No, they can break each other's legs. You know what? Zielinski can break Chucky's leg.
Oh. Yeah, I really don't like
What's going on here?
I know, it's vile.
Just my hate for Mexico. National team, not the people.
Do you know what? We haven't done any kind of World Cup predictions thing yet. So since there's only been like 7 games, let's go on record as saying who we think will win the tournament, who will be the top scorer, who will be the surprise disappointments, maybe the surprise team, that kind of thing. I think Brazil win it.
Same.
And I said that from the start. I prefer them over Argentina. I just think they've got a better squad.
Yeah, I think that they have the ability. Like Argentina's been struggling to qualify for the past 3 World Cups, except for this past one.
Yeah, they're on a 36-game unbeaten run. To be fair to them, but quite a lot of draws in that.
They lost to Saudi Arabia, who couldn't beat the United States. Just to be clear.
When did you last play them?
Over the summer.
No, like in September.
That's what everyone was talking about then. Okay.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh,
everyone by Maxi." You mean by Maxi?
Yeah, the heads just now. Mexico, Poland. Who's not watching now?
You're behind.
Dude, you need to be paying attention to the podcast. What are you doing?
AJ, who do you think is going to win it?
This
USA.
game or the tournament?
Tournament.
USA, baby. Red, white, and blue. Let's go.
Yeah.
Gotta get out of the group stage first.
That's it. I'm not even going to let you.
Fingers crossed. There is a path. We just have to beat every team in front of us.
Well,
it's that simple.
Little draw on Friday just to help you guys out.
I think that we get a draw on Friday, to be honest. But I think it's going to be like 1-1 or 0-0. I don't think it's going to be.
Did you miss
I think we're going to go into the Wales game, the Iran game, probably being 3rd or 4th in the group, and then I think we'll go through on the final day.
Yeah, same. Because I think that England's just going to put a beat down on Wales as well.
I really do. So. Yeah.
Wales always play out of their skin against us though, because it means
so do we
for them. Yeah, I mean, I can only think back to that the Rob Green era game. I think that's
has England ever beat us?
Yes, they beat us 3-0. I think this summer or the summer before.
Oh, you're talking friendlies? I mean, in competitive games.
Yeah, competitive games probably not. I don't think we've met that much, to be fair. But
we beat you in 1950.
We beat you in 2010 as well.
No, it was a tie.
That was 1-1.
I thought it was 2-1.
No, that was the goalkeeping error. We went 1-0 up, and then Rob Green let that one through his legs. That was quite funny, to be fair. But no, that should actually be.
We topped the group that year.
That's what it was.
The thing is, if you play like you did in the first half last night against us, it would be a terrible idea because it would just be too open. Like, you know, there needs to be a bit.
Wait, in the first half or the second half?
The first half, because you were well on top, but there was a lot of space in behind.
Yeah,
and
dude, the second half we were not compact at all.
No,
I think that's probably how we'll play against you guys. It's just how USA plays. So,
AJ watches a lot of USA games. He's actually an expert.
I've been doing my research. Yeah,
the US TMNT, whatever they're called.
Yeah,
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
I've got
Ninja Turtles.
I've got another bit of trivia. Greg Berhalter actually played for Huddersfield.
Okay.
He played a trial match against Wigan and did really well, and then Crystal Palace signed him.
Well, that makes sense because he is probably the weakest link for USA soccer.
What is the trivia behind this?
Just that your manager played for Huddersfield once.
That's a random fact. Trivia is normally a question. You should have said
He's
what
got
English
you there.
team.
No, you're right. Yeah,
He's got.
I don't know why I thought of trivia. Trivial Pursuit. But yeah, that's it. Roll on Friday. Oh, Golden Boot winner. I had Lautaro Martinez, and I've got him in several bets, and I feel like a dickhead now because he was awful.
You really picked him?
I think Saka. He's already got two, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got two.
I think he's the only player.
Valencia.
Oh yeah.
Valencia's got two. I think Ecuador's going to do well, actually. In my little bracket that was kind of fishing, but also it started out as not fishing, and then I was like, let's just make USA win it. I actually have Ecuador going decently far.
I didn't do a bracket.
That's shocking because you took 2 weeks off of work to watch the tournament.
To put your socks on. And another thing as well about, and I know it's kind of like a generalized comment, but I do think the South American teams will adapt better to the temperatures and stuff, you know.
I mean, the United States will as well.
35, so whatever that is for you.
Yeah, it was like 70 degrees when we played last night.
In some interview, the U.S. was just like, it feels like we're in Arizona. And then there was an English one, and they're like, it's hot out.
Yeah. There was a picture of a training session, and they've got one of those, like a sprinkler, but it sprays your face, and all the players were coming over, and they looked absolutely shattered.
Yeah.
But didn't show it on
one of the commentators during one of the games, I can't remember which one, but they're like, for as much as everyone's saying it was going to be hot here, like I'm a little chilly right now.
Because they're in an air-conditioned booth.
Yeah, but
they followed that comment up with the AC is working very well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I missed that part.
I thought it was just a dig that Chile didn't qualify, but that feels strange, doesn't it? But Ecuador was good.
Neither did Italy.
Yeah, they're shittily. But they're all chirping up about their unbeaten run record thing.
Maybe they should be concentrating on qualifying for the World Cup, not a past unbeaten run.
I can't believe they haven't been at the last 2 World Cups. That is embarrassing. If you do it once, you can say it's a blip, but whoa.
Their last knockout stage game was winning the 2006 final.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, because they didn't make it out of the groups in 2010.
No, it was Uruguay and
2014. They didn't get out of the groups either, I don't think.
Correct.
That would be correct. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of, I won't say it's unforgivable, but it's not. It's just the way Italy are at the moment.
Yeah.
It's
weird because they were a great team in the Euros. I mean, obviously they won it, but it wasn't like a fluke. Like, remember when Portugal won the Euros and it really felt like they just fluked their way to the final and then got lucky?
Yeah.
Like, Italy felt like they were dominated in the Euros, so it was very interesting to see.
Yeah.
Do we have any Milan stuff to talk about today?
Italy's actually allergic to the World Cup after winning it for the 4th time.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Yep.
I can't tell if that was a dig or not because you threw in 4-time winners and all.
Well, I can't ignore the fact that they've won it 4 times.
Right, 2 before World War II, though. So there was 2 Germanys and all that kind of stuff for a while. I don't really think it counts.
Last time England won it, Pele was still playing. So
it's all right. Yeah, he was. Pegleg was still playing.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll do the questions then, shall we? We
both of them.
We put a tweet out. Thank you to everyone who sent in the questions. It's going to make for a short question.
Thanks to the 2 of you.
Yeah. It's mad because, like, on a normal episode, I think everyone's glued into the World Cup, which is fair enough. That's what I hope is the case. Either that or we're just so down on relevance that, I'm not hating it though. Milan not having games. It's a welcome break.
It is. It really is, to be honest.
And
with
also,
you.
But going from the high of the World Cup to the low of beating Hellas Verona 1-0 by scoring in the 90th minute is going to really suck.
I'd quite like a last-minute winner, to be honest. But
I'll take it.
Yeah, but minute from 1 to 90 is just really boring.
It is going to be interesting.
I've watched a lot of World Cup games. I feel like that's common.
I think there will be a hangover, from it. I think that
same. There always is.
Yeah. And this is going to be a strange one with it being mid-season. I just hope that there's just not loads of injuries that happen afterwards. You're already seeing.
I mean, as long as they're for the players on Inter and Napoli.
Yeah, it's like Lukaku's
got a lot of starters there.
Lukaku's missing the first couple of group games. Depay's missing the first couple. Benzema's out the tournament. I mean, we should mention that, shouldn't we?
Depay played. He played yesterday. He came on in like the 90th minute.
Came on as a I think they did say he wouldn't be fit enough to start. And then what else? Kjaer started obviously today for Denmark. I think he played like 65 minutes. Clean sheet for them, which is a positive, but that was the disappointing game so far.
Dest started as well. Obviously, his
and looked decent.
Question. Yeah, he looked really good actually.
He looked all right. Yeah.
The problem with him is the same thing we've been saying: is he is not a defender. And Madison, you've been saying that since before we even signed him. But yeah, put that dude right wing, right mid, do something else. But
there's something there, like with his physical mold. He's got a low center of gravity. He makes good, like diagonal inwards runs that cause problems. He's actually got a decent pass on him in the final third. Like he's been bright at doing that. But
the World Cup means more to him than league games. Yeah, because
that's why he's playing. That's why he chose the United States, because he wanted to play in the World Cup.
Yeah, and you could see it because he looks like he's giving a lot more.
Well, also think about it. Like, you get loaned out from Barcelona to play for Milan, who doesn't really want you, and neither does your team that you're contracted to.
That's true as well. I mean, we only really signed him because of the Calabria and, the Florenzi injury, but then he's only really playing because Calabria picked up an injury too. Right. So that's that must be a bit of a kick in the balls for him. But look, our option to buy is 20 million. He has to do something pretty spectacular to
win the World Cup.
Yeah.
That doesn't do anything for Milan.
As a wing back.
He wins it, we buy him, we sell him for a double. People do it. He has a good game.
Yeah.
Good tournament.
As long as he scores a wonder goal like James.
Against us. I'd have to celebrate, which is a shame. And then what else? We've got France playing against Australia, and it seems as though Giroud is going to start because Benzema is out of the tournament. That's a big blow, but I don't ever think that, obviously he was out of consideration for some time, but I don't even think Benzema's been that great for France. So Giroud's probably a safer bet for them, weirdly.
This is the first World Cup ever where the top two players from the Ballon d'Or rankings are not featuring Benzema and Mane.
Oh, Mane was second.
Yeah, Mane was second, which is weird enough as is.
Even.
Where was Mbappe?
Not top three, that's for sure.
No.
Or maybe he was third, actually. No, he got like 8th or 5th or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. He was in top 10, but he wasn't on the podium, and I don't remember who third was, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to get a different winner in there as well before Haaland wins the next 10.
Yeah, it is nice. Yeah. Imagine Mbappe never gets one because of Haaland. How funny.
That would be funny.
It's going to be like Messi
PSG will just sign
Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be. All over again. And
Ronaldo's going to PSG and going to play with Messi to finish his career. Watch that.
No.
Is that before Messi leaves for Inter Miami or wherever he's supposed to be going? That'll be good for the MLS, you know.
That'd be great.
Huge.
Great.
He'll be coached by Phil Neville,
and owned by David Beckham, which I mean we all kind of are, right?
Yeah, I mean Beckham can do anything he wants. Handsome man. And then Teo Hernandez might apparently back on track. Teo Hernandez might be left out of the starting lineup according to sources in France, but I'll believe it when I see it because that would be silly for them to leave out a player of his attacking quality against an Australia side who are frankly dog shit.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, who else is in their group? Do you think maybe they're just saving some of their firepower for?
It's the Denmark-Tunisia group.
Okay, well,
I think they'll be fine. I think France will probably win. All 3 games, I would have thought.
The only thing that's worth thinking about is 2 yellow cards as a suspension in the World Cup. So you don't really want to rack up any early yellow cards.
They reset after the group stage.
Yeah, but still, I mean, if you get one in your last
knockout round.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then there's that.
No, but if you get the ban, so if you get your second yellow card in the third game,
correct. Yeah.
Okay. That was the good thing about England yesterday. We didn't get a single booking, and because we were winning like 4-0 early on, we were able to just make subs and take
two of our 3 midfielders got bookings. So rock and roll.
We got 2 defenders as well, right? Tim Ream definitely got one.
Tim Ream definitely did, because wasn't he the penalty? He didn't even give away the penalty.
That was Zimmerman.
Yeah, and he didn't get a card for that.
Dest got a yellow, of course. Dest got a yellow card. McKennie got a yellow. But that's it.
Excuse me, sorry.
Yeah. So, and Kellen Acosta whoever that is. What's funny is looking at the bench.
he blocked Bale.
The names.
Kellen Acosta is actually an LAFC teammate of Bale, and he was the one who, when Matt Turner came out the box like 40 yards and Bale was lining up that shot, Kellen just pulled him down and said, nope, which probably would have won the game for
training.
Wales.
Yeah.
You know what's kind of cool? What? The last person to score against Wales in the World Cup was Pele. And Pele commented on Tim Weah's Instagram post about scoring. That's all.
Get cool. What is it? When's the cool part?
You would be very happy if Pele commented on your post, just saying.
I'd be very confused.
I'd say, why? I think I'd remove the comment.
I'd be like, should you be in a hospital?
I deleted an Instagram post that Seth Rogen commented on, and I was like, oh no, why'd I do that?
That's a fake story, so.
No, I dressed up as his character from Pineapple Express for Halloween, and he commented on it.
Oh, really? That's actually
it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Good of you to delete it. Right, let's do some questions then, shall we, boys? This might not be as long as a usual episode because obviously we're in that. So
we'll be going 60 minutes instead of 65.
Well,
might
be an hour and a half if you've got to put your socks on. Christian Espinoza asks, how many players from last year's title-winning squad would start for the 2010-11 title-winning team? So
that's a great question.
Yeah, no, I wanted to give this one some discussion time, but what I'll do is basically tell you what our most used 11 was from that season, so we can compare it player by player. It obviously starts with Abiati.
Can you send them to us?
Yeah.
I'm more of a visual guy.
Well, can't read. I'll send it in the chat now. So it starts with
Mignon over.
It starts with Abiati in goal, and obviously we're picking Mignon for that one, right?
Yeah,
he's the better goalkeeper, but it would help if he could stay fit for more than 30 games a season. But he will be back after the World Cup, so happy days on that front. The picture is just sending now. Then we'll go to left back, shall we? Luca Antonini was the most used player.
I'm picking Teo.
Yeah, me too. Now Antonini was an underrated player. I will say that much. He was quite a reliable defender, but at the same time, Teo's Teo, you know. So it's 2-0.
Where are you sent? Oh, here we go.
It's sent now. It's 2-0 then to last season's team. Centre back pairing: Nesta Silva, Thiago Silva.
Well, come on now. We know who we're picking
I'm
here.
not moving. Yeah, I'm not moving either of them.
Tamori Kalulu. Just kidding. No, it's Nesta Silva. It's got to be.
Yeah, I don't think you can even use the age argument with Nesta. You know, he was getting towards the back end of his career. You could maybe argue that, but he was still elite. And those two, you just felt so safe. Although our defensive record that season actually wasn't amazing. Let me look how many goals we conceded.
Well,
there was a lot of
Abiati we just picked against, so
yeah, that's true.
Antonini, so there's that.
There's a lot of bizarre games that season, like being 3-0 down to Lecce, and then Boateng came on and scored his hat-trick, and we won 4-3. That season, I take it back, we let in 24 goals in 38 games. That's incredible. So, yeah, they're staying in then. The right-back, Abate, for the 2010-11 season versus, what we going, Calabria started the most games. So.
Yeah, I'm going Abate.
I
like the speed.
Same.
I think I'm going Abate as well. The criticism that Abate always got was that he couldn't really defend that well, but he was incredibly athletic, and clearly something worked if there were 24 goals conceded in 38.
I think prime Abate would work much better in this team than
him and Teo
previous one.
Would be obscene.
Exactly.
Obscene.
Yeah.
He kind of was a right-sided Teo in some ways, but he just didn't have the same output in terms of goals.
Well, and it's the same criticism Teo had at the beginning was that he didn't defend.
Yeah. The thing that's going to make this a bit more difficult is the difference in formations. But we'll go with, in the midfield, we'll start with Gattuso. So it's like Gattuso versus Tonali, really.
I'd keep Gattuso.
Yeah, you Gattuso.
Yeah.
I think Tonali has a higher ceiling, but he's not.
You think who?
Tonali has a higher ceiling.
Who said Ronaldo?
Ronaldo.
I was like, what?
The midfield Ronaldo.
I mean, I know Gattuso was, again, he was another one at the end of his time. I think that was his last season, wasn't it? So yeah, but still, you got to go with him. The experience, but there's a lot of similarities between the two. Don't get me wrong. Like boyhood fans of the club, kind of a dream story to end up playing there.
Tonali models himself after Gattuso. He said it time and time again. Asked him for the number 8. So yeah, that's a great comparison. But
yeah, so this is where it gets tough. I guess we'll go with Seedorf or Benacer. Yeah.
That one's really tough because I think Benacer is our most pivotal player.
Yeah.
But Seedorf is fucking Seedorf.
Yeah. Who did you compare Van Bommel to?
I've skipped that out because it was him and Pearl. Like Van Bommel came in halfway through the season. So it was Pirlo before. And I just don't know who you would, because we don't play with a 3-man midfield at the moment. What, you comparing him to Krunic? In which case we know what the answer is. So, yeah. I don't know. I was going to go with Boateng versus Çalhanoğlu then, because technically, not Çalhanoğlu, wasn't on our team. Brahim Diaz, I guess, isn't it?
I pick Boateng every time.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, because last season's Diaz wasn't too hot. Like everyone said, that was the place we needed to replace. So, yeah, you got to go Boateng. Are we all in agreement though on Seedorf?
Yeah. Seedorf was for me the best midfielder I've ever seen. Like in terms of all action, he was.
That.
Yeah, no, that's not. He was incredible with Seedorf. Probably the best player never to win the Ballon d'Or. Like he was that good. That might be
5 Champions Leagues with like 4 different teams or something like
that. Yeah. For anyone to have a career at the top to the extent that he had, incredible.
To this day, he is still in better shape than most current players.
Oh, he is an absolute unit. There is zero body fat on him at all. Yeah. Great man. So the front three, now this is where it gets interesting. I guess we go with Robinho or Rafa Leão on the left.
It's got to be Leão.
It's got to be Leão, especially on the ethical question as well, which we'll probably stay well clear of. But Leão is a more likable bloke.
Yes. Well, and he was the league MVP last season, whereas Robinho never hit those levels.
Robinho, and again, I want to totally separate this from what we know he's like as a bloke now. But Robinho was really good that season. He got 14 goals. He was the joint top scorer. So, he was up there. He scored the same amount of goals as Ibra did that season.
My dog just threw up. Give me a second.
Oh, poor Chuck. Clearly didn't like the opinion there on Robinho. We'll give him a second to come back. Are you in agreement, Leão, over Robinho?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of Robinho.
He was kind of.
I feel like his expectation was super high. But I mean, Leao's also kind of overly selfish.
Yeah.
All right, we're good. He didn't actually throw up.
Oh, bless him. And now we're going. I was going to say Zlatan or Zlatan, but it's not really Zlatan or Giroud. It's 2010-11 Zlatan versus last season Giroud. And the answer for me, despite all the big goals that Giroud scored last season, Ibra was unplayable that season. He was fantastic.
Yeah, we still haven't had a goal scorer score more than that Zlatan since that Zlatan. So it's got to be him.
Mm-hmm. I think he scored 28 the next season. And then
that's right. Yeah,
he got 14 that season, but his overall play was just like you couldn't get near him. That was peak Zlatan, and here he is 12 years later, still doing it.
What's crazy is Zlatan hit double digits both seasons, or every season with us, obviously, except for this one, because he hasn't played yet.
He hasn't played yet.
He's still got half a season, and that's all it took him in 18-19.
While we're talking about him, should mention that it sounds like he's going to be back either late January or early February.
You scared me. Was like July?
July, yeah. Season done.
Fucking retire.
He should be back for the Super Coppa. Oh, no, his aim was the Super Coppa, which is at the back end of January. But it seems like that's a bit touch and go. But the return derby is early February. So, and then obviously we've got Spurs, and he'll want to be back for the Champions League. So that would be good. And then what I'm going to do It's different to the graphic that I sent you, but I think we can use a bit of artistic license and say Pato right wing or Pato in the attack in some capacity versus Telemarkers or Macias.
I'm going Macias.
Yeah, me too, yeah. 5 important goals last season.
They were all very important goals.
Yeah. Pato got 14 goals that season. So
I choose Pato.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
there we go. We had 3 players that season score 14 goals.
Pato's which is honestly incredible. Like,
and then you had
hard to top that.
Seedorf and Cassano both got 4. Boateng 3. All of them that hat trick at Lecce, funnily enough. Even Gattuso got a couple. Including the winner away at Juve, I think.
It's interesting to look at that and think that, like, out of the players from this season that we picked, it was primarily in the back line. Well, I guess it was just 2, right? Because we only picked 3 players.
Yeah, we picked Maignan, Teo,
and Leao.
Leao, and that's literally it.
Hey, what are you doing, bud?
Chuck wants to voice his opinion.
Yeah,
he wants to put a case in for Cassano.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. I think that team was very good. And what can we say? I mean, the league was probably a little bit weaker that season, I want to say. But then Inter had just come off that run of 5 straight Scudetto wins, and it needed something pretty special to overthrow the momentum that they had. Obviously, they've won the treble the season before, and then they kind of just dropped off a little bit. Whereas last season, we took the title from Inter, which was big. I think that battle last season was a battle for the ages. It going right down to the final game was pretty special, and I don't know if that'll happen again. But interestingly, we clinched the title in 2010-11 with a draw away against Roma, whereas obviously last season we clinched it with a 3-0 win away against Sassuolo. So that was perhaps arguably a bit more emphatic. But I think overall the team played better last season. They played better stuff. It was just that we had the individual brilliance of those 3 forwards in 2011 to see us through. So yeah, interesting. Oh, which manager are you taking? 2010-11 Allegri or last season's Pioli?
I'm taking Pioli.
Me too. I'm
taking Pioli, which is strange.
I'm taking Allegri, knowing what Allegri has done since he left.
Interesting, that sliding doors moment. Should we have sacked him at that time? I think the answer was yes, but...
he plays such boring football, though.
Yeah. I mean, he's yes, but they haven't conceded anything in their last, 6 league games. And they've scored a good amount, actually. Very few of those are 1-0s. But yeah, I'm picking Pioli, which is crazy because I was such a big Pioli out guy when he was getting announced. I just thought, I was like, here we go again,
Mm-hmm.
And so it's nice to see being wrong. But yeah.
Yeah. Next question then comes from Michael Gambino. What are your thoughts on Rodrigo de Paul for the winter transfer window? Third option in the middle can also be used as a 10.
Nah.
First of all, we don't need another 10 right now. No. That will just throw CDK off way more.
I think it would be a bold call to sign another playmaker when Adley's not getting any minutes. We don't know what we're doing with Brahim Diaz. CDK is 4th in the pecking order. I don't think you sign another number 10.
He hasn't been good since he left Udinese anyways, and he looked abysmal this morning, I heard.
I think, he was awful today. Absolutely awful. I think that ship sailed. I think in hindsight, and obviously hindsight is 2020, he probably shouldn't have left Syria.
Atletico Madrid was 2020. That was his last time he was good.
Yeah, there you go. But of course, I can see why it was appealing to go to Atletico Madrid. They play with a 3-man midfield. Simeone is also Argentine, so it would have helped him settle in and stuff. But it just hasn't worked out for them. And I think Bider said this before, but the idea that not every single play is going to be run through him, like it was at Udinese. He struggles to cope with that. He doesn't know how to mark his presence in a game unless everything's going through him. I think he should have stayed. He would have become our main summer signing without a doubt, and there'd have been a lot of excitement around him if he played as a 10 or he played as a right winger if he'd have joined us instead of Atletico Madrid. I think he might look back on it as a regret, leaving Italy. because he found something that was good for him there. In terms of January, I don't see Atletico, because they paid like 40 million in the end.
They paid a lot.
I just don't
That's
see Atletico giving up on him at the moment. You know, he still is playing, and I don't know where we'd have to switch to a 4-3-3 if he was to join, and we'd probably have to try and play Charles on the right in order to make it work. Maybe it would unlock something for us. I don't know, but I think I prefer being linked with Hussam Aouar, the Lyon midfielder. Yeah. I think he's a better. You know, that would be potentially a cut price or a free transfer if it were next summer. He actually has experience playing box to box. I feel like him and Benacer would look really good either side of Tonali as well. You know, real ball carriers. And I'm excited by that transfer link. I'll throw that out there as well. I would like to sign.
I think he's a better third choice option. Gives us closer. Like, he's not going to replace what we had with Kessie, obviously. But I do think he's an improvement on bringing in Pobega, bringing in
Krunic.
I think Krunic has a role in this team. I think he has.
He's been in really bad form. He's also been playing out of position a little bit.
Yeah, he plays everywhere, and I feel sorry for him because he's that kind of guy. Like, he's going to play wherever Pioli tells him to do, and I think Pioli likes having that kind of security blanket there, but he doesn't particularly excel at anything, you know? And I think Aouar could be like a similar kind of player, box to box, or playing on the forward line, and he's just a bit more refined in terms of his technical quality. And he's 24, not 28, so maybe it's worth looking into. I don't know. I said last week that I think the signing we need to make is in midfield because the drop off to Pobega in the double pivot is it's unavoidable at the moment, and Benacer and Tonali can't start every single game. So yeah, I mean, any other transfer links worth mentioning? There's a couple of players that we're supposedly watching at the World Cup. One of them's playing in this game that's on in the background for us at the moment, Mexico, Poland. Jakub Kjaer, who is Poland's centre-back, and he plays for Spezia.
I was going to say, we were watching during the Spezia game as well. So
yeah. I like him, but I just wonder what role we have for another centre-back when we've already got 5.
I think we're preparing for
we need a 6th
departure.
Yeah, same.
Or Gabia on loan or something. Kjaer either like ending his career or Gabia going back on loan.
Gabia's not leaving. He's really stepped up.
I don't know. I don't think he's better than Chow. We've only seen a little bit of Chow, but I think he's...
Yeah, but Chow's only been here for 3 months.
Exactly. So
is it possible that the 5 options we have at the moment are absolutely fine, and maybe nothing needs to change until next summer?
I don't think we need to get Kiwi or whatever.
I think Kjaer's probably going to stay around for at least 1 more year. But if Kjaer decides he wants to move on and, I don't know, play closer to home or whatever it might be, then fair enough, you look at investing in another centre-back. But I think that if Kjaer leaves, you probably want to replace him with someone experienced. If you sign a 22-year-old, then all of a sudden the average age of the back 4 is like 24. And that's quite young. I do think we would need some leadership experience if we were to sign a replacement for Kjaer. And the other guy is playing for Mexico, Edson Alvarez, Ajax midfielder.
Pass.
I honestly, because we've been recording, I have seen only brief bits of this game, but I know Edson Alvarez has been linked with Chelsea and other Premier League teams. I don't think that we are in the race for him. There was also a Calcio Mercato report saying that we want Cody Gakpo, but now his price is 40 mil plus. I don't think we're shopping in that pond unless Jerry wants to prove me wrong.
That was interesting. I just saw Drewski in the crowd in the background there. But the thing about Cody Gakpo is Drewski, he was like a big YouTuber who's friends with like Jack Harlow and all the rappers. He does those type of videos. Anyways, so Cody Gakpo, we've been linked before, but for Calcio Mercato to come out the day after he played and say, yeah, Milan wants him, but his price just went up, like, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
It feels a bit opportunistic.
Maldini, and Maldini said, yeah, they just told us the price went up 40 mil. Like, sorry,
it's a click. It's just clickbait.
Exactly. It's garbage.
Kind of like us swapping Leao and Ronaldo. I wonder who posted that.
That came from an actual decent source, though. No, it was talked about. It wasn't even me, actually. I haven't been working today, but that happened. Like, that is fact. Di Marzio said that he tried to make it happen in the summer, you know?
Right.
Mendes. It's more Mendes' idea.
Yeah. Mendes wanting that. Yes.
Yeah.
Not us.
Not us. I mean, the report does make clear that it's not something that we're interested in, which is reasonable. I mean, we wouldn't pay even half of Ronaldo's salary for a start. So it doesn't surprise me that Mendes might want to engineer something like that. But at the same time, not interested in the slightest. Would I take Ronaldo on some kind of 6-month loan deal if half his salary was covered? I'd think about it, because I think that we've seen what he can do in Serie A, and I think we're a better team than that Juve team where he still did well. But it is a huge dynamic to add to any dressing room.
Yeah, but anyways, I just think for is it PSV that Gakpo's at? Yeah. I think for him to score 1 goal against Senegal and PSV to be like 40 mil, run the press, that didn't happen. His price hasn't increased at all because of 1 goal against Senegal.
If it carries
Senegal,
on,
they're obviously AFCON champs, but this was a very weak Senegal, and
no Mane.
Yeah, but it's just not. It's not realistic. If he goes on and has a wonderful tournament, then yes, sure, his price has gone up. But 1 goal in a group stage game isn't life changing.
I understand people are getting gassed about him because of his league form as well. I understand that he's got 9 goals, 12 assists.
Yeah, I think he's a baller. I would enjoy him on our team, but I don't think
it's a league where Milos Kerkez
article is made up.
It's a league where Milos Kerkez is the best left back. But Gakpo will.
We really let one slip there, huh?
Thing is, he's actually good, but that's another interesting thing is people saying that it's a disgrace from the management that was allowed to happen. It was what he wanted. It was what the kid wanted. He wanted to become the deputy to Teo at the age of 17. It's that's not going to fly with us.
It's just like Locatelli. If you get fired up about a replacement when you're a teenager or 20 years old or however old, and you're not willing to fight for your spot as a backup or a starter, and you ask to leave, then you don't deserve to be at the club.
There is a club like AZ Alkmaar for you.
Exactly.
With respect to AZ, who are actually like a software company or something. That's how they're a club. And what was the thing? Oh yeah, but we signed Ballatore, and obviously we now know, again, benefit of hindsight, that it probably wasn't a great signing. However, we still needed to sign a deputy left back. You can't be rocking with a 17-year-old in Champions League games, because he would have had to play. We've missed Teo for Champions League group stage games before. You can't throw a kid in there. As much as he'd say, I'm ready for it, it takes one bad game to completely blitz a kid's confidence. But I'm glad to see him doing well. There are plenty of stories like that. We won't lose any sleep over it. I feel worse. AJ's going to swear at me for this, but I feel worse for the situations like Cutrone, where we've obviously forced him out when he was actually useful for us at the time. Yeah. It's like, we need the money so we can sign Leao. And that turned out okay. But it ruined Cutrone's
What is Cutrone up to now?
It was terrible. He didn't want to go. It's become obvious now that he didn't want to go. So we kind of forced him off to Wolverhampton because we didn't see a spot for him. And that's a career that's fallen by the wayside a little bit. So I do feel worse for those kinds of players. But yeah, final question then, boys. This is a bit of a rogue one. It comes from Rohit. He sent me on WhatsApp. If you don't see it on the Twitter feed, that's why. What about the idea of Milan playing a youth team in Serie C like Juventus do? Bit of a rogue one.
What do you mean, like having our Primavera in Serie C?
Yeah, so Juve have a Primavera team as normal. I support it. Then, me too.
Yeah. So much better. Put them in against real players. I mean, granted, Serie C, yes, but those are still adults. They have man strength. It's not kids versus kids where the skill gap is so massive. The best kids aren't going to be equal to mediocre adult players. So you put them now in there with real adult players, even at Serie C level, they're going to grow so much more, be so much more effective, and they're going to know real football. So yes, I support it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like
now in Italy, can they be promoted to Serie B with us in Serie A? Okay. That's the only downside, is it?
It's like that in Germany as well. Yeah. With Bayern and Dortmund's second teams, they're not allowed. It's happened before where Bayern's second team have won the third division. And I know the promotion spot moves to the...
In Spain, they're allowed to go up to second division, right?
Yeah.
I think that would be much bigger, but it definitely becomes an issue when
there's another
kids are winning.
There's another big positive from the loan point of view as well, because at the moment we have to loan out young players to get experience of senior football. Whereas if they're all in one place, you can get them all playing the style that you want. You have more control over the minutes that they get. It's just you get a lot more control in doing so. And we wouldn't be dropped straight into Series C. That's not how it works. We'd have to fight our way up the divisions. And given that we struggle, the Primavera struggle against Primavera teams, it might be that we play in the 5th tier for a bit. But it's still important.
It's still better than,
So the only downside to that is then you have to focus on results, whereas with Primavera, you could just focus on learning. So
yeah,
that's the only
but as an adult and a professional, you have to focus on results.
No, I agree. Yeah. But if you focus on results when you're simply not good enough, you're not going to get those results. Whereas if you just focus on learning and not worry about the results, you will improve. It's just a matter of will you improve time.
There's also no limit on age or anything. So as weird as this sounds, but like I know they do this in some American sports with minor league systems. But if you wanted to give a player a rehab game, you could literally have them play for the B team in Series C
you
to get some minutes in the legs.
You see senior players get dropped to youth teams for fitness levels. Yeah, come back from injury. We've seen it before, so it wouldn't be out of question. Yeah, it just would be a bit more permanent thing.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if we do go down that route, because you figure now with the change in ownership, there might be a few new ideas and new visions that come into things. But no, I like that. That's a good idea, and it makes you wonder if it's because UVA are the only team that do such a thing. It makes you wonder if that's another area where like Italian football is behind, because they don't do it in England, but they have the youth teams playing in a cup competition with other senior teams from League One and League Two. So that might be an idea. Maybe Johnston's you enter them into the trophy. That's the one. It's actually the Papa John's Pizza trophy now. Seriously. Yeah. That's funny. It used to be the Johnston's Paint, though. Yeah, that's right.
Better ingredients, worse players. Papa John's trophy.
It's Papa John's. Yeah. And then, obviously, as you say, in Spain and Germany, they have the B teams that can go up to like the 3rd or, in some cases, 2nd division. So it makes you wonder if that's an area where Syria can modernise a bit. But I also Inter's Primavera team are looking like getting relegated at the moment. So it just goes to show how weird it is. Because they generally have one of the stronger academies in Italy. But for whatever reason, like us, we blitzed the Youth League group stages, beating Chelsea, Salzburg, who were finalists last year, Zagreb, who've produced some talented players. And yet in the league, we've won 7, lost 5. It's not particularly brilliant. And that's against worse opponents. So, like, what gives? What happens? Questions done then, boys. Thank you to everyone, all 3 of you, who sent one in. I'm just going to check again just to make sure we didn't get any more that missed off. But
the diehards, Christian Espinosa always gets one every week. Rohit gets them, and who was the other person who was another regular, right?
Michael Gambino, yeah. As I say, I think there's probably a case of World Cup fever. People are just soaking in the tournament, and our views know it. But yeah, thank you to everyone who sent one in, and we'll do more stuff like that, no doubt, because we've literally got like 6 weeks or something, haven't we, without a game?
Yeah, we'll call it some games and something. Oh, Madison and I won't be here next week for Thanksgiving, so Ollie might have Stefano Lorenzo. I don't know if you've even talked to me.
Yeah, thinking that on Monday. Yeah. So we'll probably hold off doing the quiz episode because I'd like to try get a few of us in for that, and I wouldn't want you two to miss out. But
that'd be cool if we get a third even for it.
Yeah, I'll see about. Might just be us boys. Might try get a guest on as well for next week, but we'll see about that. But yeah, thank you to everyone who made it this far. Like, comment, subscribe as always, and interact. It helps us a lot with algorithms and stuff like that. And also thank you if you keep listening to us through the World Cup. Now it's easy to zone out of club football, but we'll try and keep things entertaining for the next few weeks. I've been your host, Ollie Fisher. Find me on Twitter at Ollie Fisher. AJ, thank you for joining as well.
Jogger45, and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks' time.
See you in 2 weeks.
Eccolo Ante in area di rigore, Ante, vibra, gol! Vediamo se è buono, ce lo dà buono, ce lo dà buono, ce lo dà buono!